If you just now tuning in, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell. GMS fam, the green room. Let's start this weekend off right. Hey, yo, GMS fam, the green room. What's going on, y'all? Happy Thursday. We are back with another episode, man. I hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's doing good. Your family's doing good. Everybody's positive and good energy. You know, we start out every podcast with positive vibes, good energy, passing it forward, hoping that you pass it along as well. I really do hope you do. GMS fam, the green room, if you are tapping in right now, if you are watching the show, tap into that live chat. Let me know you are here. Shout out to Promico, Arius, Quick, Stanfield, my FBA, brother C Mo, Glow. What's going on, y'all, man? How y'all feeling? We got some things to discuss today. Got a couple things on the topic, man. I wanted to start out with everything that was going on in the past few days with Family Guy and what they decided to put in their show in regards to the late, great Nipsey Hussle. We're going to have to get real 100% authentic with this conversation, just in reality of the situation, not because of the impact that his death had, but more so who he was and his impact while he was alive and why this was even a thing to begin with. Now, if you don't know, or if you haven't heard, Family Guy made a joke in regards to Nipsey Hussle on one of their episodes. I'm going to play the audio so that you can hear exactly what they said in context, and we're going to break it down for you real quick. Listen up.
Oh, music festival, huh? You think the Von Trapps will stick around to pick up their award this time?
I don't know about them, but they're gonna have holograms of Tupac and also Nipsey Hussle, who I'd never heard of and then was told to care immensely.
Oh.
Yeah. Who I never heard of and was told to immensely care about. That's what that was. Yeah. It's Family Guy though, which is hard. It's like for some people it may be a hard pill to swallow, but it's Family Guy, man. And the thing about it is these type of shows, whether it be Family Guy, Simpsons, South Park, or even, you know, some of the shows we really love like the Boondocks. These are shows that push the envelope and go to a certain place where some people may not go. Although there are real people behind the show and that write the show and the ideas come from actual people, it's still a cartoon, and they haven't, in my opinion, discriminated against anybody when it comes to talking about certain subjects. Now, with that being said, there's certain ways that you can do shit. There's certain ways that you can tell a joke or can be, satirical. I think that's a word. And be funny about it. This, in a way, was kind of like it almost sounded condescending in a way. You know what I mean? Like, there was really no joke, but like, if they would have kept it at Tupac and Nipsey Hussle hologram performances or whatever, then that's one thing. But, they added on the who we were told to care about or immensely care about, who I didn't, who I had no idea about, and all this other shit. But it's like, that is the type of, thing you would expect from certain white people who don't know about the culture. And on top of that, Nipsey, when he was here, did not have all the love that a lot of people have for him after he passed. That's just the fact. A lot of people weren't listening to Nipsey or paying attention a lot to what he was doing, maybe a little bit more towards the end, because he was working with more people that kind of, boosted him out into a different light. You know what I'm saying? He started working with people like Diddy and, working with Khaled and, just different people like that. But the reality of the situation is, people were not on Nipsey like they were until after he passed. So it wasn't that it wasn't that what they were saying was wrong. It just may have come off insensitive, or it may have sounded condescending, or that, they wanted to make it clear that they didn't give a fuck about, Nipsey Hussle. So now it caused an uproar. People have been going around talking about it, making talking points and shit. They even posted a couple of my tweets on big blog sites like No Jumper, the Jasmine brand. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're kind of pushing it to the point where they're trying to make it like the whole fake outrage thing. It's not even about, like, there should be no outrage or fake outrage about this when we know what these cartoons do. Like, and here's a good thing about it though. It's starting to make people look at certain clips from past episodes to show people, like, look, they've talked about this, they've talked about that, they've done this. Like, they've done worse on that show than they've said. I'll tell you that right now. For anybody that has not paid attention to Family Guy at all over the years, they have done worse on that show than they've said. That's a fact. When I thought Family Guy was gonna get canceled? When they made fun of the trans community. When they low-key was making fun of the trans community, when Quagmire's dad decided to turn trans and they made this whole thing about it and was doing all this extra shit, I thought they were gonna get canceled then, but nope. Not at all. And I think it's a very bad slippery slope that we have when we start to get the fake outrage about things that we already know are pushing the envelope or edgy, or they have dark humor. Us going after these platforms or trying to cancel something, that shit is bullshit. Also, give people the room to make mistakes. Maybe they thought it was funny, and maybe they thought it was going to come off like, hey, it's been a few years, maybe we can get this one off. You know what I'm saying? But here come the Twitter fake outrage motherfuckers who want to get mad about some shit. It just, I see the fake outrage, and it bugs me. I not to say that, some of it isn't valid. They did have some shit, some years ago when they came out with a show called Dads, who was executive. I think it was created by Seth MacFarlane, who does the voice of Peter Griffin and Brian and Stewie on Family Guy. And they got backlash because people were saying that show was racist because it was reinforcing negative stereotypes about certain dads in different, communities and shit. Asian community, black community, shit like that. So people try to go back to people's track record and try to be like, yeah, they did this and they did that. They always trying to come at this, but it's like, nah, man, these are people that have made a living pushing the envelope and trying to make edgy comedy in cartoon form. I can't be mad at their choice of, jokes, because they go at everybody. That's like when people, honestly, it's the same exact thing as when people get mad at Dave Chappelle. How do you get mad at Dave Chappelle when this nigga talks about everybody? He literally makes jokes about everybody. How are you mad at somebody who literally has smoke for every single community, every person that looks like this? Every time I think about that, man, it's crazy because like now the image of the certain community that goes after Dave, the only people I can think of are those two big white ladies who was sitting in his stand-up special that he had on Netflix. Those two ladies that was sitting there with the fucked up haircuts, with the serious faces and shit. Mad as hell at a comedy show. Like, are you crazy? That right there, that image should be put on every fucking social platform for people that get fake outraged about shit. Especially when it comes to comedy shows, cartoons and shit like that. People try to cancel these things because they get uncomfortable. Shit that they don't have to watch either. Y'all don't have to pay attention to this shit. One thing we do have is a choice. You choose to be irritated by some shit that you don't even watch. Imagine being somebody that never watched Family Guy and you mad at this joke because you just wanted to be fake outraged with everybody else. L really said, I do agree about Nipsey music. I'm from the South and I'm probably the only ninja in the city that listened to him. Been on Nipsey Hussle since 2012. Yeah, and I'm proud to say I've been to a Nip what you call it I forgot what the tour was called, but I've been to a Nipsey show. I forgot what he called that tour. It wasn't the marathon. It was it was early. I think it was like 2013 or some shit. Nigga came out here to perform in Minneapolis to not even a packed room, but it was inspiring to see. You know what I'm saying? And it's fucked up too. Little side story. I had a chance to meet him. I was there with somebody. I was doing music at the time, and I was there with somebody who was trying to manage me and trying to like put me in, certain positions to meet certain people. And I got with a con man. This motherfucker was there to meet other motherfuckers. He got me a ticket. He's like, yeah, we gonna go. I'm gonna introduce you. We gonna let them know we with this and that. You do music. All right, cool. This nigga walked to the back. We start both walking. We was finna go backstage. He was already back there. So he was like, yeah, he finna come get me and bring me backstage. He came to me and was trying to bring me back there. And the security guy was like, hell no, you ain't finna blah, 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 blah. I said, you motherfucker. I'm like, I'm the artist. An artist with who? And I'm sitting there looking like the local artist nigga like, myself. I hate these motherfuckers out here. But anyway, shout out to Nipsey, man. Nipsey really had great music. It seemed like a very solid dude, and I think that's another reason that it bent a lot of people out of shape because, just the type of dude he was. They feel like, there shouldn't be any smut on his name or anybody to make a random joke like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could have picked anybody in the world to say a hologram. Like, you went from Tupac to Nipsey. It was just very random. But of course, ironically, them talking about how they were forced to care about, you had to speak on him because of the impact that he had after he died. So his impact, whether you were paying attention to him or not, was big enough for them to randomly think about him in the writer's room and speak on him. So, I mean, call it what you want, man. I still see it a W for Nipsey. Well, regardless, there was a lot of people that went and listened to Nipsey music that day and yesterday, probably today too, depending on how long it trends. People got a short attention span. They only like things as long as it's trending. Then after that, they like, fuck it. That's just like with the Damar Hamlin situation, which is crazy too, because Damar has been being accused of being a clone. Have y'all heard these conspiracies, bro? I had to speak on this shit because this was the wildest shit I've heard in a long time. There's conspiracies flying around and people actually questioning whether or not Damar Hamlin is alive. There's actually people who are contemplating whether or not this man is alive. They think there was a stunt double at that last Bills game where they lost. They think that a stunt double came to the arena or to the stadium and sat in the box. and that it couldn't have possibly been Damar Hamlin because, I don't know. Like, there's actually, I mean, if you ask anybody, there's actually no good reason why they feel that way other than the fact that, did you see what happened to him? Yes. Yes. We have. There's also been people who have been shot in the head and survived. I don't know what made people think that what happened to him just meant that his life was over, or that he's just dead now. But and like, why would anybody around him or his loved ones just be okay with the fact that he's dead and just not speaking about it, not talking about it? Y'all just moving forward. It got so bad to the point where people were calling in to make sure that it was real. Look at this.
My brother want to say what's up, y'all. A3 ski. Yeah, 3 ski. My boy.
He had players from other teams calling and FaceTiming him, trying to make sure he wasn't a clone. This is the problem with social media. I had this shit happen yesterday, bro. I'm sorry, Auntie. I gotta put you on blast. I hope you're not watching. My auntie texted and this is why I'm bringing it up, because I play fault in it as well, because I spoke on this situation on my show when the shit started first happening. But a tweet was going around from the trans something community or something, like it was a Twitter page that was claiming that they were with a trans alliance and all this shit, right? They tweeted that they wanted to get rid of Aretha Franklin's Natural Woman because it was harmful and it has affected other trans people in life, right? Come to find out, it was a parody account. Now, nobody, including myself, even saw that it was a parody account. We only saw the tweet. And not only did the tweet go viral, but a lot of people picked it up and had think pieces on this tweet. Now, let me tell you something. That same account, this is the account. The account is Trans Mindful, the Trans Cultural Mindfulness Alliance, right? In their description, in their title of their profile, they say this is a parody satire account. They had to make a statement because of how many people picked up this tweet. They said, I am stunned that not a single media outlet who reported on the Aretha Franklin tweet even attempted to contact this account for comment. Big problem number one. Problem number two, based on the sheer ridiculousness of the content on this page, how could journalists not comprehend that this is a parody satire account? Here's the thing. Here's the problem with both sides. Creating an account that is speaking for an entire community is dangerous, because not only do you have the anti side of things going hard on the community, you have the people that, like myself, that tries to coexist, and we, you know what I'm saying, everything is cool, you know, you do your thing, I do my thing. Here's something so ridiculous to the point where we have to respond to it, because it's like that, it's something that affects different communities at once. You know what I'm saying? Like the music community, the black community, because you're going at Aretha Franklin, which is, you know, why people even felt like this was something real to begin with, was because this isn't something that is out of the ordinary for people to go at, talking about this was harmful to a certain community and we got to go look at this now, or try to cancel this song or cancel this show or shit like that. Like, we're in a fucked up society to where canceling things is more of a solution to people than trying to teach people or help people learn how to move better in society. Canceling something doesn't change somebody's mentality. It doesn't change how somebody does things. If anything, you just created more of an enemy. I don't get it. But this other video right here, with Josh Allen, where he's talking about the Damar Hamlin body double. Listen to what he had to say.
So Newsweek, New York Post, and other outlets are running stories about a Damar Hamlin conspiracy theory in which people are suggesting that he was not at the game on Sunday and that it was some sort of body double conspiracy cover up. That it goes on and on and on into the tinfoil hat territory. Would you like to debunk that conspiracy theory or maybe confirm it?
Yeah, that's stupid. That you said there's mainstream media outlets pushing this.
There's mainstream media outlets. There's people with like really legitimate heavy followings who are saying the fix is in. That was not Damar. His face was covered. He had sunglasses. He had a hat. When they went to him on CBS, you couldn't see him. And that there's this next level conspiracy that was actually not Damar Hamlin at the game. They're saying it.
One, that's Damar's swag. That's what he liked. He likes wearing that. Two, he was in the locker room with us pregame. So yes, that was Damar. There's absolutely zero chance. That's okay, the Damar Hamlin. That's our guy. That's our brother. He was with us pregame, postgame. He was up in the suite with his family, his little brother, 100%. So.
And there you have it, the confirmation. There's nothing else that needs to be said about that. I don't know where people get these wild conspiracy theories from, bro, and I don't know who be starting them or how these things circulate around the fucking world as fast as they do just based off of somebody's thought process. Like somebody just had to one day just be like, man, I don't think that was Damar Hamlin. Imagine this, a random motherfucker who's never met Damar Hamlin in his life. The most he sees of Damar Hamlin is with him in a uniform. Saw him at the game in regular clothes. It was like, that's not him. Imagine that, bro. And then started a frenzy of people questioning whether or not it was him. It makes no fucking sense, man. The conspiracy theory, I have nothing wrong. I have nothing against conspiracy theories. You just have to make it make sense, bro. You can't just throw shit out the window. You have to make the conspiracy make sense. Like if I was to tell you that the DA in Young Thug's RICO case, Fannie Willis, was once the defense lawyer of one of YSL's co-founders, Mr. YSL Mondo, that sounds more believable, doesn't it? Does that sound more believable? Well, it quite possibly is. And you want to know why? This is what I mean by putting up conspiracies and having some things to help validate your conspiracy. See, this isn't just a headline. It says new evidence from YSL co-founder YSL Mondo reveals that DA Fannie Willis used to be his defense lawyer right before she went after the YSL RICO case. This could mean a conflict of interest and grounds for mistrial. So here's what will help back this conspiracy. Let's say that this is true, right? Let me ask y'all a question. Do you think that this person, first of all, do you think the justice system is corrupt? That's the first question I want to ask. Do you think the justice system is corrupt? Second of all, if this is a YSL RICO case, and I'm somebody by the name of YSL Mondo, and I'm not just YSL Mondo, I am YSL co-founder Mondo, do you think that I will be a part of this RICO case? Do you think I would not be involved in this? Guess what? He's not. He is not involved in this RICO case whatsoever. Interesting. Very interesting. You arrest all YSL members, but you didn't arrest this guy who just so happened to be one of your clients at one point. You were playing defense lawyer for this guy. That's crazy. Now we have something that could be the biggest break in Young Thug's life since he was signed to a record deal. If this is possible, not saying that they cannot retry him or bring it back to where it is at some point, they'd have to be, first of all, you would have to be very confident in your next go around, because at this point, if this is true, his Young Thug's defense can use this in every single instance that they bring to them. Simply bias and conflict of interest. They had it out for him ever since he's been successful. Not because he's committing crimes, but because he's a successful black man in Atlanta. Personally, I don't believe that. I believe Young Thug was out here doing crazy shit, but that's the tricky part about the court system, man. The court of law, man. It's not about whether or not something actually happened or didn't happen. It's what you can prove. Can you prove? And these little intricate details right here when it comes to conflict of interest could blow a whole case up right in somebody's face. But as that continues to develop, I will keep you on your toes. Now, here's a topic I want to talk about, man, because I'm not going to hold y'all long today. Today's not going to be a long episode. It's Thursday. I'm chilling. China Mac. I wanted to make sure that I spoke on this. China Mac went live, or not live, he posted something yesterday on his Instagram. He posted about a lot of people coming at him because they are calling him a guest in hip hop. It's weird to me because I thought that was pretty obvious to people who were outside of the culture that involuntarily put themselves into the culture. I thought that was common knowledge, but I guess some people don't feel that way. So China Mac went on his Instagram and decided to let it be known that he's not a guest in hip hop because he is hip hop. I want y'all to hear from his mouth what he had to say in this regard.
Yo, so lately I've been hearing a lot of talk about me being a guest in hip hop. Me? Born and raised in New York City, the home of hip hop? Like, been involved with hip hop since 1987? Like, I can bet my whole life savings that I know more about hip hop than 90% of y'all that's saying that I'm a guest in hip hop. Like, that logic don't even make sense to me. Like, make it make sense. Like, if we apply that logic to, let's say, basketball, right? Basketball culture.
I'm mad some of y'all learned the word logic.
A white man invented basketball, right? You do know that. So if we apply that same logic, Michael Jordan, a guest in basketball culture? LeBron James, a guest in basketball culture? What? That doesn't even make sense. Didn't white people invent boxing? Muhammad Ali? Against the boxing? Floyd Mayweather? Against the boxing? That don't even...
Let me cut this fool off. First of all, let me just say this, man. It doesn't matter how long you've been in New York. It doesn't matter if you're born there. It doesn't matter who you are around. Please understand that this is the problem that we face. This is why I didn't want to respond to a comment earlier about us, time for us to, protect our own groups, because I've been speaking about this for a long time. This is the result of us not protecting our own groups and our own culture. Somebody who doesn't even realize that he's a guest in this culture because he has validated in his mind that he is the culture. He thought to himself, because I live in New York, because I have black friends, because I defied my grandfather, my racist grandfather. Let's not skip over that. His racist grandfather. I'm not just saying this. This is what he said. He said his granddad told him that if he ever saw him talking to this is little China Mac. Little kid China Mac was told by his grandfather that if he ever talked to a black person again, it's a wrap. He said, you can't come in my house again. Imagine that. Your grandfather told you as a little child who don't know shit about racism, discrimination, bigotry, hate, none of that. This is how it starts. This is how this shit is passed down. You want me to believe that you are of the culture? Your family don't even like niggas. I'd be surprised if you even fuck with most of your family due to you wanting to cosplay us. Then you bring up examples of boxing and basketball. A white man created basketball. Does that mean Michael Jordan and LeBron? First of all, find me a white man or an Asian man or a Mexican man or a Muslim man. Give me examples of any other culture, any other race that has elevated hip hop more than us, who has influenced the culture more than us. Because I'll tell you right now, if basketball and boxing stayed white, it would not be as popular as it is today. Please remember that little white kids go to basketball games with LeBron jerseys on. Not Kyle Kuchevich. niggas go to the basketball games and they look up and they aspire to want to be black players. Boxers grow up and aspire to want to be black and Latino fighters. You can't even claim Mackie Pacquiao. I said Pacquiao. Mackie Pacquiao. You see how I switched that up? That's his name. He's Mackie Pacquiao, not Manny Pacquiao. He's Mackie Pacquiao. That's China Mac new name. But on some real shit, man. And it's crazy because I don't have anything against China Mac. It's just the fact that some people get delusional, man. And then you see the type of people that be on their pages and shit, the type of people that agree with the type of shit they saying. This other little white kids that be like, yeah, I'm tired of hearing the race shit. Shut your little punk ass up. I'm tired of racism. As soon as that ends, motherfucker, you'll be done hearing about race. Weird ass little niggas, man. You could tell they grew up in a family. See, this is the problem. If you're white and you're teaching your white children to not see race or to not see color and to avoid racism and try to avoid the race conversation, you are doing a disservice to this earth. You're going to have them niggas looking crazy. LR said, it's hard personally to ignore obvious lack of, but that's the best thing. His opinion doesn't hold any weight. Like y'all can report on it, but black people shouldn't get mad at dude. Just laugh and keep it pushing. Yeah, the thing about it is, I don't think anybody's getting mad. It's like a correction. Like he needs to be corrected. And how is there nobody around him that has corrected him about that? Like, fuck taking it to social media. That's just entertainment. How come there's nobody around him that's trying to correct the way of his thinking before he comes out here and shoots himself in the foot? You know what I mean? That's the crazy part about it. Sheriff has said, we add the seasoning to everything. I don't fly unless we are involved or created it. I mean, yeah, that's a fact. We push the culture forward. And we continue to. I think it's important to correct those who are mistaken about their place in the culture. Because even then, we still don't have anything of our own. We can only claim hip hop in a spiritual sense. We can't claim it in the physical asset sense, in the equity sense, in the ownership sense. We can't claim it in that way, which is the worst part about it. That's the reality of the situation. So as much as we want to protect it, and as much as we want people to abide by how we feel and the rules that we've set for the culture, we don't own it. And in a technical sense, it's not ours. There's ways of making it ours, but we already got presented the easier way to go about it. They put money in your face, material shit, and then you fall for the okie doke every single time. I feel bad for a lot of artists that feel like getting signed is the best thing that's ever happened to them, or would be the best thing that ever happened to them, man. This industry is fucked up. These people they really do not understand the ins and outs of this shit. That's why I hate how people try to, sensationalize and glamorize the glorious parts of being famous and being rich. Like, they'll constantly show money, they'll constantly show jewelry, they'll show cars, they'll show their house. And I'm telling you, there's people that are dumb enough to believe that once you get famous, there's no work to be put in. You just get famous and you get money and then you ride it out as long as you can. It's like the dumbest way of thinking, but people actually do think that way. People do actually process that information. Man, I want that. Because you want something so bad, it led you down a space where you inevitably crash. There's nothing more important than stability and your sanity and having the people around you that you love and care about. Nothing beats that, bro. No money, no amount of money, no materialistic thing, whatever. I'm telling you, there's a lot of people down and out in the dumps, depressed right now, and they got everything that they thought they wanted out of life. In a nice crib, got money, got jewelry, cars. You at the point where you tired of looking at the same shit. You tired of driving the same shit. You tired of wearing jewelry. You tired of the same motherfuckers calling you, asking you for favors. People don't think about the ins and outs of shit, man. The long nights, the multiple amounts of hours put into shit, actually having to stay creative and try to elevate what you're doing and not be stagnant because you're competing against thousands of other motherfuckers that want your spot. Now, I'm not trying to deter nobody or scare nobody away from wanting to make a living out here, wanting to, pursue a career in music. It's just move smart, man. Move smart. Don't grasp at everything just because it's presented in front of you, man. That's a lot of the times what they want you to do. Value yourself and your work and the things that you create, man. And I'm telling you, the people around you will value it as well. You have to create the demand before people want to demand what you have. Now, tomorrow, I don't know, maybe I got to speak to AP, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be doing the 3Gs podcast tomorrow. So make sure you tune in tomorrow night at 8 p.m. 3Gs podcast. You don't want to miss it. You need to be there for it. GMS fan, put a GMS in the comments right now. I want to see the GMS in the comments. Do me a big favor. Hit that like button if you haven't. Follow me on my socials. I'll follow everybody back. Hit the Cash App today if you are feeling generous. I would most appreciate it. Put the GMS in the chat. Let's go. Hey, give Pac G our regards, even if he is annoying as ish. Pac G is not annoying. Where you get annoying from? Pac G is a solid nigga. Shout out my guy Simo, man. Shout out LR Realist, Arius, Baby G, Sheriff Fist, Glow in the building. Shout out to my GMS fam. I appreciate y'all a lot. You can become a member by hitting that join button below the video right there. You see it? Look down. I think I'm looking at it. Look. Right there. Is it right there? Where? Where is it? Where is it? Is it right there? Or is it right here? Is it right here? I think it's right here. Yeah, I think it's right here. I hope I'm right. I'm gonna watch the playback and see if I'm right. GMS Family Green Room, like I said, do your due diligence, man. Share this video, man. Let people know where to pull up every week. It's the GMS show, GMS fam. I appreciate you. We out.